Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Come on in. Come on in. It is Friday. Y'all know what that means. Freestyle Friday, y'all. Only rule is that we respect each other's perspectives, but that is everyday rules. So in the meantime, between time, let me give y'all the positive vibes for this morning because I always start out saying it's going to be a good day. Good morning, Fancy K. Good morning, Heart to Fire. Good morning. And here is the inspiration of the day.
Step one, wake up, brother, gonna rise with the sun.
Step two.
Get some good, some food in you.
Step three.
Think real hard about what you wanna be.
Step four.
Everybody just do your thing.
Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Set your affirmations.
Aspirations.
Hey.
I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation.
Good food, good mood.
Blood in circulation. One step
At a time.
Yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration.
And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day and call it replication. Hey.
Today's gonna be a good day.
What?
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Hey.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Hey.
Easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo.
Negative thoughts.
Poison the
Come on.
Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost.
Hey, what? So I'ma fake it till I make it. Hey,
Positive thoughts are overtaken. I got patience, one day at a time.
that's how you operate a cadence, one day at a time.
You show yourself the foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation.
I live my-
that I like to do it cause it's
Come on.
sensation.
I live my life.
In my head like a narration.
Don't expect greatness,
Do my best,
but I'll take it. Hey, come on, y'all. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a what? Wake up. Come on, it's Friday. Wake up. Hey, Ghost. Hey, Chef You. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. That's right. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Sometimes I have to play that song a little longer for y'all because people are going through some things, you know. Prayers out to Florida. Well, Cuba, Florida, all right? South Carolina, all the places that's in line of the storm. We pray for you. There are a lot of people that are suffering damages. I saw pictures all over the internet. There was sharks swimming in the street. There were people swimming in their houses. We take for granted these things. It's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine and they said the last time they had a storm in Florida, they forgot to make sure that their apartment insurance was up to date. And when they went to check, it had expired. And just FYI, when a hurricane is announced, insurance companies go into a freeze. They are no longer accepting new policies. All right. So keep that in mind, people. It is important to make sure that your insurance policies are up to date. All right. I know them motherfuckers are a pain in the ass and we pay insurance for years and probably some of us never put in a claim. But look what could possibly happen. Right. So make sure, even those that have apartments, all right. I didn't get into apartment insurance until I moved to New Jersey 20 something years ago when the apartment complexes in New Jersey required apartment insurance in order for you to sign a lease. And every year when you renew your lease, you have to present your declaration letter, your declaration page for your apartment insurance, right? And even though it's annoying, it's such a cheap expense to cover your apartment, right? It's worth it. And I get why these apartment complexes push it. One, they push it to protect themselves in case you have damage to the apartment that they're not responsible for. And two, in case there's a major issue, that your items are protected, right? And so again, prayers out to those that are in direct path of was in direct path of the hurricane and suffered some loss, and is in direct path of any tropical storms that might come because of the hurricane. All right. So I just wanted to put that out there. Simple. Hey, Brandilla. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday, y'all. Good morning, Cheryl Lee. Good morning, Johnny Hill. Right. Stay safe with all this rain coming. Yes, we got a lot of rain coming. I was just talking about the hurricanes and the tropical storms. We got a lot of rain coming, but that's the least of our worries. I saw so much shit. I've been watching the Weather Channel consistently for days, right? And I've been like, wow, all the beautiful places. Thank you, protagonist. If you're coming in through IG, give me the hearts, and if you're coming in through YouTube, give me the thumbs up. I've been watching the Weather Channel for days, right? Sharks swimming in the street, people swimming around, an old man rescued because his car was going underwater. It is very scary. The one time I had to experience Hurricane Sandy when she busted through here and fucked us up, I was frantic. It was a nightmare. So and that was I only suffered a small portion of what these people are suffering in Cuba and in Florida and other places that are impacted. Puerto Rico, we can't forget about Puerto Rico, right? Their shit started out with a whole fucking landslide. Prayers out for those that are in recovery mode. It's sad. Good morning, Zen. Good morning. Yes, good morning, Uhu. Good morning, protagonist jumping around. I appreciate you, motherfuckers. It is Friday. So, y'all see what the fuck I'm wearing, right? Good morning, Theo. Yes, Uhu, that is a great way of saying it. Prayers for the Atlantic Ocean area as well as the Gulf Coast. Did you see that on the news? They showed that the Gulf Coast had no water in the fucking ocean. The water was gone, y'all. They were like, you could walk out. The water was gone in the Gulf Coast. It was gone. It was in the towns. It was rolling down the streets. It wasn't where it was supposed to be. And that's why the sharks and the alligators are riding past people's houses, because the sharks and the alligators are following the water. It's very scary, y'all. It's very scary. And so, yes, prayers out to the Atlantic Ocean area, prayers out to the Gulf Coast. We are praying for you. All right. Okay. I even checked on Theo because, she's down there in the path. Right? Hey, Glamour 47. So just wanted to throw that out there. But y'all fucking see what I'm wearing, right? This, y'all know, is part of the, one time, about a week or so ago, I wore a t-shirt that said the name of it is Words Hurt, right? And it's covered with a bunch of words, derogatory words that you might have heard at some point in your life that might have impacted you somehow, that might have caused some kind of trauma, right? And so that is one of the items that's a part of the no judgment line, right? This is another item set that's a part of the X judgment line. It comes in black and it comes in gray, hat to match, right? No judgment is a big deal for me because, I went through a lot of childhood trauma worrying about being judged. So, not being judged is something that I push on myself. I try not to judge myself and I try not to judge others. In some situations, it's hard because I'm human. Right. But this is a reminder that nobody is perfect. We walk around here and we talk about each other and we compare ourselves to the masses and we put our nose up to the next person. But really and truly, we don't know what people deal with behind closed doors, right? We don't know, right? So we have to constantly remind ourselves that who are we to judge? We're nobody. We're nobody. So if you are interested in a t-shirt, yes, I have to market my own fucking products. I'm the marketer. I'm the shipper. I'm the creator. I'm the whatever. I'm everything. So if you want this set, this t-shirt X Judgment comes in gray and it comes in black. I myself, this is unisex, y'all. Mine is tied up in the back. See? but it's a unisex shirt. It's really, really this is a medium, right? So if you are my size, you can even get a small if you're a lady, because these are unisex t-shirts, so they run a little bit big. And so I like to tie mine up in the back. So this medium is fine for me. But this is a part of the X Judgment line. Again, this is real paint. This red X is real paint. It symbolizes whatever you want it to symbolize, right? I look at it as, the blood, you know, of that was shed, right? Metaphorically, right? For those that have suffered pain from being judged, right? That's what this X represents. And the X on the hat is not paint. This is embroidered, okay? All right. And so in the back of the hat, it says X Judgment. Okay. So if you want to support a sister and send a message, right? Do so, because this, this is a whole message. All right. The website is rawtothebone.com. Support a sister. That's it, and that's all. But happy Friday, y'all. What is going on for the weekend? Well, the one thing that we got going on is tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time is Coffee with Friends After Dark. Did y'all hear me? Tonight. Because I don't want, listen, when I do Coffee with Friends After Dark, y'all motherfuckers will ping me at 10 o'clock that same Friday and be like, did I miss it? Y'all will ping me the next day. Y'all will see the video up and be like, oh man, I missed it. Coffee with Friends. Thank you, Georgie. Good morning. Coffee with Friends After Dark is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you live in California, if you live in Texas, if you live wherever, Canada, wherever the fuck you live, keep in mind that 8 p.m. Eastern Time is the time that Coffee with Friends is going to go on. So make sure you sync that up with the time zone you are in so you don't miss it, right? Hopefully tonight, Ghost and Fancy K jump on and tell us a little bit about themselves, right? And others, I'm inviting as many people that want to come on and talk about whatever the fuck we're talking about. What are we talking about tonight? We're talking about a lot of shit. Okay? All right, Zen. No problem. You'll be there next time. Have fun at dinner, right? 8 p.m. tonight, Eastern Time. All right. Securities LSG will be present. Yes. All right. So again, I'm inviting people to jump on the camera, y'all. Make sure if you're going to jump on YouTube or Facebook, the stream, the podcast stream, make sure your Wi-Fi signal is good. All right. Because streaming takes a lot of bandwidth. All right. So see you there tonight. Make sure you dress the part if you're coming on camera. Shit. I'm just saying. But if you're not dressed the part, come the fuck on camera anyway, right? All right. Support of Black business, naturally dope earrings. Because I have to support my brothers and sisters, right? I love spending my money with my brothers and sisters, right? Just like I hope they love spending money with me. And the thing is I have a lot of people that I support their business, and they ultimately they also support mine, right? Because I not only do Raw to the Bone, I have the body butter business as well. And so these naturally dope earrings came from at Brightly on IG. If you're not following her, I buy a lot of jewelry and a lot of pieces from her. All right. So at Brightly, she makes waist beads. She makes, beads for the beads, bracelets, a lot of things, various types of earrings. Let's support each other, right? I mean, the fuck. I love it. All right. So Zen said, I'd rather be at Coffee with Friends after dark. I want to hear Ghost and his lady break that stuff down. I know. I'm so sorry, Zen. You're gonna miss it. Tell Eric to push that dinner shit to tomorrow. What the fuck? Y'all know. Listen, I'm gonna need Eric to be on board. Okay. Tell Eric, show me some love next time. Let okay. Yes, we talking with Ghost too tonight. I am Jacinta. So make sure you come on tonight. But it is Freestyle Friday. Let's get into the day, y'all. All right. Today's topic is just any topic, Freestyle Friday. But I come here with things that are on my mind that I want to talk about. I come here every day with things on my mind that I want to talk about because that's just the way I am. What about y'all? Y'all got anything on your mind that you just want to talk about? I'm going to put the guest link up. I got something because my mother dropped something on me heavy last night or heavy yesterday, and I don't even think she realized it was heavy. You know what I'm saying? But it was heavy. It was heavy to me because when she said it to me, she said it so easy, and I'm going to share it with you guys. She said it so easy to me that I sat there and I said, wow, we're having a deep moment, and she doesn't even realize this. Right. And so I want to share this with y'all because it made me rethink how I react to her in some things. Baby, let me tell you something. This show has been a blessing to me because it has laid patience on me that I never had before. Because I have learned in the 2+ years that people just got shit that they didn't unpack. They don't even know they have suitcases and shit attached to their asses. And I have learned to become more sensitive to other people's shit. Now, when it becomes too heavy for me, I remove myself, but I still became more sensitive to it. People got shit. So I'm going to share that with y'all because it was a deep moment. But I want to give y'all the opportunity to jump in with anything y'all want to talk about on Freestyle Friday. So Uhu said, for the ladies, would you propose to your man or not? We had this conversation before, Uhu, and hell to the no. I'm not. That's my answer. Uhu said, would you propose to your man or not? No. The reason why I wouldn't propose to my man is I can't fight with the old ways versus the new ways, but I still feel that the man, this is how I feel, and I say it over and over again on this show. This is how I feel. Men lead the relationships. I don't give a fuck what any woman says. The man chooses. He chooses. You could choose a man all day, every day. If he didn't choose you, he will not elevate you in that relationship. All right, that's my opinion. So for me, I'm not proposing to a motherfucker. He need to propose to me to elevate me, to show me that he chose me, right? I want to know that you chose me. I still feel the men are the hunters. Like I say it all the time. I might throw a doggy bone out there and sniff, right? But I still feel that the men are the hunters. The men choose. I see women out here every day choosing men, saying that that's my man, this is my man. They choosing these men, and these men are out here choosing other women. The man got to choose. How many videos did y'all see of women on their knees proposing to the man and the man said no or walked away or embarrassed her ass? What? What are we? But I'm not. See, this is the shit that I got to remind myself. Don't judge women who do propose. I'm trying not to. I'm still human. And this is a reminder for me not to judge, right? But I would not. Okay. Cheryl Lee said, yes, the wind swirled counterclockwise, pulling the water away from the shore, coming back with the surge and high waves. So I hope some fools ain't out there exploring dry land. Baby, if them motherfuckers are out there exploring dry land, I, Zen, I said that's my opinion, Zen. That's my opinion. I feel like the man leads the relationship, right? In my opinion. Zen said you can't say that the man leads the relationship and then at the same time say that you want the option to be able to do the same things, etc. Ghost and fancy. Well, leadership is defined so differently, right? Leadership doesn't always play out in your everyday acts, right? And I had to learn that in a relationship as well. In a relationship, we're still individuals, right? Even though someone and I didn't mean lead like be the leader of the overall relationship. What I meant was lead in the courting aspect of the relationship. That's what I meant, Zen. Lead in the courting aspect of the relationship. The man chooses the woman, in my opinion, to decide whether he wants to make her a wife or not, right? Leadership in a relationship is a whole nother thing. I feel like overall leadership in a relationship crosses hands periodically. Sometimes she gonna lead, sometimes he gonna lead, right? Depending on the type of relationship you're in. Leadership depends on where you are in your relationship. There has been times I had to step into the role of taking over responsibilities that my husband couldn't take over at the time, and vice versa. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about courting, dating, proposals, okay? That part. I'm not doing that. The man to me is the hunter. He needs to let me know that I want your ass. Yes. I want your ass. All right. What happens after that in our marriage and how we exchange leadership is a different thing. Okay. Let me go up here. That was my opinion, though. It doesn't mean that that's the facts. That's just my opinion, my asshole contribution. Uhu said, I'm traditional as well. Right. We were talking about proposals, and the question was, you must have missed the question. The question was, would you propose to your man or not? That was the question. And I said, I would not propose to my man because men, in my opinion, choose the women and they lead in that aspect. See, you missed the question. I was only responding to that aspect of the question. Chef, you said I wouldn't propose to a man. So what's your reason, Chef, you for not proposing to a man? I gave my reason. That's my reason. Your reason might be different, right? That's my reason. Shirley said, right, as long as the man, when hunting, comes with a contract and maybe a ring or an apartment building, dead deed for bait wouldn't hurt either. Oh my God. Listen, I ain't mad at that, Shirley. The man show up, propose to you, have a deed in hand with a building that's in your name. All right. Tiffany Haddish type shit. I know that's right. You know, a lot of motherfuckers are buying land and shit instead of expensive engagement rings. You see that shit, right? I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I particularly, this is we touched on this the other day when we talked about younger versus older, right? um when I was younger, I used to focus on having the biggest diamond ring. Oh, I got to have the biggest and the clearest diamond ring. I got to be blinging all over the fucking place. I got to be blinging. Now that don't even mean shit to me. It don't. I want a simple well, if a man should ever put a ring on my finger again, right? I don't know if that's going to happen, but if it should ever happen, I'm very simple, right? To me, I want the money for traveling, for our home. I want to live comfortable, right? It's more important to me to live comfortable than to be blinging around, right? I take a simple ring and that's it in a comfortable lifestyle. But that came with growth. But why wouldn't you propose to a man, Chef You? Fancy K said, that's true. They have been given the power, so to speak, to choose. Girl, preach. That's one thing I'm definitely not doing. I'm not proposing, child. I'm not doing that. Now, I'll pay bills. I'll step into the leadership role if I need to pay some fucking bills, make some hard decisions, and do shit like that. I'm not proposing to you, though. You need to choose me and let me know that you're committed to me. I still want the man to hunt me. That's my personal opinion. Now, if you are of the lady that gets on the knees and proposes to the man, I'm not judging. Miss Shalandere said, I will never stuff my knee up proposing to a man. What the fuck? I barely tie my shoes, laugh my ass off. What? Protagonist says, a girl gonna need to be worth more than me to have the audacity to propose to me. You've been killing me lately, protagonist. I can't with him. Did y'all hear that shit? Johnny said, Had a very long, interesting conversation with my wife. Okay, let's go. We realize that we are happy with each other, but not happy individually. Wow, that's deep. We love everything about each other and our marriage, but not happy with where we are with our health, careers, and other areas. I know it might sound strange, but it's something that we discovered in trying to figure out. That don't sound strange. Even together as a couple, individually, we have our own lives. I just said that, right? I just said just because you are together as a couple, you still have your individual lives, your own goals, your own aspirations, your own dreams. And I can see that, Johnny. I can see being happy in a relationship with your significant other, right? But not being happy with where you are individually in life. So, anybody got any advice, any input to that? Because, I would think, Johnny, one, you did the right thing. You and your wife sat down and had that discussion. That's a good first step, right? Now, what is the second step? What do y'all think the second step is? Johnny, what do you think the second step is to move forward, right? Because now y'all are trying to figure this out. Maybe write down some goals, some career goals, maybe write down your fitness goals, maybe write down some personal goals and put them on paper and let them marinate for a minute. Maybe do that. Anybody on here got some suggestions? Because that shit is deep. I thought I was coming on here with some deep shit, but that shit right there was deep. What y'all got for Johnny? Okay. Hey, Madison. Hey, Coach. Good morning, E Hustle. Good morning, Veronica Madison. Heart to Fire say, if you ever see me on my knee, you have permission to kick me in my back. No. All right, if I see it, I'm do it. Just remember you said do it, all right? Get your coffee or your tea. Listen, this morning, it's cold outside. The fuck? I put froth milk in my coffee this morning. Drink up, y'all. If y'all in on IG, give me the hearts. If you in on YouTube or Facebook, give me the thumbs up. Good morning, Jello. Chef, you said I'm traditional. I don't expect him going down on one knee, but I want to see he chooses me. That's what I want to see, Chef. You. The act of the proposal is the small thing to me. I want to know that he chose me. I do. Mm. Now, I don't know how this works in same sex relationships, but for me, I want to know that he chose me. Okay. Let me go over here to YouTube because they dropping some deep deuces. Good morning, Pat. I am the center said, I get that shit, Johnny. I get it too. I get it too. Right? I am the center say you can lose yourself in a marriage quick. You can lose yourself, period, in a marriage, a regular. We talked about that shit. And we said most times it's the women who wake up and realize that they lost themselves. So, Johnny, do you look at this as, an aspect of losing yourself, over the years? Like when you reflect on this, what do you think? How do you think the direction of where you went in your life happened? Was it just on autopilot mode and you just ended up here? Right. And a lot of us do. I was on autopilot mode for a lot of my years and I was like, wow, I'm here. This is not really what I chose. Right. Like my career. I didn't choose my career. So a lot of us are just navigating through a thing called life. And one day we wake up and we like, what? And we realize maybe this is not what we wanted. How do we readjust? How do you readjust? Johnny says, so in same sex relationships, who is the lead? I just said I don't know how it works in same sex relationships. I don't. Right? I would think, I don't know. I can't even begin to speak. I'm a mind my business. I don't. Anybody on here want to talk about how does we're talking about the hunter in a courting proposal type situation. In a same sex relationship, who's the hunter? Are both the hunters? Great question. Hey, Interior Rue. Zen said, in every relationship, there is someone who tends to take the lead regardless of gender. Got it. There goes the answer. Someone takes the lead. So there's a hunter in every relationship, no matter, right? No matter. I mean, I think it should be the fuck. Like I said, I gave my opinion. It doesn't mean that my opinion is facts. I just want to say that again. It's just what I want, right? Protagonist said, health is wealth. Johnny, lead your wife to exercising and eating better. That's discipline. That discipline spills over to your personal life. Well, that's a great injection. Anybody else want to give Johnny Hill any advice? I say first thing first. Something that Theo, our resident life coach, has told me several times. Write it down. Write it down. Write down the things that you want to work on, fitness, relationship, whatever it is, career. Write it down and write down underneath each one of them, what is it you want to change? And then figure out what little milestones you could do to get you there. I'm just throwing out a suggestion. It happens. A lot of times we look back as we get older and we look back in our lives and we go, what am I doing? Has nothing to do with your significant other. Sometimes you look at yourself and you go, I'm just not where I want to be. How do you adjust? Coach Donovan said, every relationship has a leader, but that doesn't mean you're not equal. Exactly. Has nothing to do with that. And we were only focusing at the level of proposal, the hunting, right? The question had come out, would you propose to your man? And I said, no, he's the leader in that aspect and the hunter in that aspect. That's the only aspect I'm answering to right now. Georgie said, not a kick in the back. It's cold here too. I know, right? My mother can't wait to fucking go home. She's rushing to go back to Florida. Florida flooded, swimming underwater, sharks in the street. And she's like, it's cold here. I'm ready to go back to Florida. I'm like, dang. But I'm ready to go too. The fuck? But see, I wouldn't go to Florida right now because I be mad when I go to Florida and you can't swim in the beach, right? Like when they have red tide and hurricanes, I'll be like, nah, I'm not going because I want to go to the beach. I just do. Protagonist says, I don't believe in marriage because divorce is an option. So you don't believe in relationships, period, because breakup is an option too. What are we doing? What are we saying? Right? I am Jacinta said, we started doing things individually. Okay, here you go, Johnny. I even created a meetup group with like minded people. We went to therapy individually. Yes, I love this show. I love this show because y'all don't realize y'all share an aspect of your lives that's really private. But it helps each and every one of us on here to unpack our own shit. And I appreciate that. Thanks, I am Jacinta, for being transparent and letting us know that you are going through something similar. Right. And these are the steps that you're taking. You start doing things individually. You create meetup groups with like minded people, and you're going to therapy individually. I love it. I love it. Keep the comments coming. I want to introduce another topic that I brought in, pet peeves, right? I wanted to talk about pet peeves, right? But some of the things that I've learned in my pet peeves is sometimes the things that are pet peeves to me are trauma to other people. Right. And so one thing, and Pat, you're going to be familiar with exactly what I'm talking about because this is something that my mother dropped on me yesterday that was very deep. And I don't think she realizes how deep it was. Um, one of my pet peeves is being around people who talk out loud, but they really asking you for something, but they don't directly ask you for what it is they want. They just talk out loud. Oh, I need something from the store, but how am I get there? Oh, I want to do this, but I can't reach it. Oh, it's cold in here. It's really cold in here. Like to say, can somebody turn the heat on or can somebody take me to the store? Can somebody reach and get this thing without, not directly asking me to do what it is you want. And that shit annoys the fuck out of me. I'll be like, are you talking to me? Are you asking me to do something? What the fuck? What is it? And so this is one of the habits. I know my mother's going to kill me, but this is how we unpack our trauma, right? My mother does this. Anybody that knows my mother knows she does this. She talks out loud and she's really talking because she wants something, but she doesn't directly come out and ask you for it, right? And I call her out on it and I snap at her. But yesterday we were talking and we wasn't talking about, or the day before yesterday, and we wasn't, and it wasn't that I snapped on her or anything. We were just sitting there talking, watching a movie, and I think there was a scene on the movie that triggered the conversation. The girl or someone wasn't speaking. And my mother said, when I was growing up, I didn't speak. And I said, what? She said, nobody talked to me. That was deep. I said, what do you mean nobody talked to you? She said her mother used to put her in a room in her crib and leave her in that room. Didn't talk to her. Always silence, right? I said, what about dinner? She said we would sit at the table, me and my sister, because my mother would take her plate in her bedroom and eat. And me and my sister didn't talk to each other. We just ate. I said, but what about when you went in your bedrooms and you laid down? You and your sister didn't talk? We all had our separate rooms. I had my own room. She had her own room. And my mother had her own room. She said she didn't speak. She said the only time she spoke is when she went to school, and then she would get in trouble for talking too much in class. Do you know how many kids go to school and get in trouble for talking too much in class? This shit made me think about a lot of shit. How could you not talk to your fucking kids? Right? And then I think about, wow, to me, there's a direct connection to why she doesn't directly speak to me and ask me for stuff. Right? She floats it around in the air and I grab it and I be like, Ma, this is what you need. You want me to do this? You want me to do that? Why are you talking out loud and not asking me directly? That to me is a sign of a trauma. And she's been doing it as long as I knew. Right? And I've been snapping at her for as long as I've known. And it doesn't change with her. I don't think she can help it. And the first time in all of my 55 years, did I hear her say to me that no one spoke to her in her home. That's really fucked up. That hurt my feelings. And this is why I say people got shit. We got to give people grace. We snap at people, and that's a pet peeve for me. Don't fucking be talking out loud and you really talking to me. It's a pet peeve. But now I had to step back and I had to say, damn it, that's a pet peeve for me. But that's trauma for her. So now I am going to exercise patience going forward because I realize that although it's a pet peeve for me, she can't help it. Mm, it ain't right, y'all. It ain't right, the trauma we put on our fucking kids. My mother is 75 years old, gonna be 76. It's not right. So that's a pet peeve that I wanted to share, and a pet peeve that I now have to be cautious of controlling in the presence of my mother's trauma. Ghost said, I got a few pet peeves. I hate being ignored. I hate when people text me but can't keep up with the conversation they started, taking them forever to respond back. I know. I know. I don't know if that's a pet peeve for me, but it annoys the fuck out of me. I hate that too. And you know what, Ghost, now that you say that, my other pet peeve, and I put it up there in writing so y'all know it's there, is when I'm talking to someone and they don't respond. Like, I'm the type of person, that if I'm having a conversation with you, and so and so and so and so, and you just staring, looking at the TV, and you're not responding to me, I don't know if you hear me, you don't hear me, or what. It irritates the fuck out of me, because then when I say to you, are you listening to me? And they go, yeah, I can hear. I don't have to look at you to see. But I'm like, is that really communication? Like somebody just staring off at the TV, or looking in a whole nother direction when you're talking, right? And I mean, I can understand if they're cooking or they're tying their shoe or some shit like that. But I'm saying, if you're sitting there having a conversation and the person is looking over here and you're talking, and you say to them, do you hear me? And they go, I can hear, I got ears. But they're not saying yes or responding or confirming that they heard you or nothing. You just talking to dead space, hoping that they heard everything you said, right? And then minutes later, when you ask them, what are your thoughts? And they be like, what? And you be like, I thought you were listening. That fucking burns me. That is a pet peeve for me. I am one person that if you talk to me, for the most part, if you say something, I'm going to go, okay, to let you know that I'm here, I'm present, right? So that's a pet peeve for me too. I feel like that's a part of ignoring you. But what I've learned is, some people do that on purpose because they're not interested in the conversation that you're having. And now I just take that as a blanket message. If I'm talking to you and you're not responding to me and you looking the other way and you doing everything else and you're not giving me any feedback, it makes me feel like I don't need to be conversating with you about these types of things because you're not interested. That's a pet peeve for me. I would rather a motherfucker say, you know what, I'm really not interested. For real. Okay. Ooh, said my pet peeve is last minute changes. I hate that. I don't do anything last minute unless you dying. Oh, I am Jacinta said we set goals individually and revisit them every quarter. That's a good one. Together, y'all revisit your goals together. You sit down and do that together quarterly. That's great input. Protagonist said, I lost myself in my last relationship, still lost her. So I get it. But as I rediscover myself, I lose my desire to trust another person. It's okay. It'll come. It will come. I hope it comes for you. I really, really do. Miss Shalandere said, I hate being ignored, especially if I text you and you go almost a whole day without responding. Like you didn't have to respond right away, but almost 7 hours later, unacceptable. Well, it does depend on the type of work or where they're at, right? Have to have some patience. I know I'm learning to exercise patience in that arena because that used to bother me too, right? Cheryl Lee said, right, Roy. I agree that communication was there. So y'all got this. Continue building together as y'all have and focus on supporting each other and figuring out how to achieve them. And this is normal. And Johnny, I personally feel, and this is another opinion, I personally feel that every marriage needs a check-in session occasionally, right? And so I feel like this is not abnormal to do a temperature check in your marriage and reassess yourself as an individual, both of you, right? Because I do think that that's how people get lost in marriages and relationships. We stop focusing on ourselves individually, right? We start moving as a unit of we and stop focusing on ourselves individually, and then one day we wake up and go, what the fuck do I got going on as an individual person? Right? So we have to do a temperature check in our relationships and with ourselves every so often to make sure that we are in line with our individual goals as well as our relationship goals. So I love the fact that the communication, Johnny, is happening in your marriage. It's beautiful. It is. Christina from Flint. Good morning, Christina from Flint. Welcome. I've been over the moon happily married for 21 years. Congratulations. I love it. All right. He and I have always maintained our individual identities, because from Jump Street, we always have done separate activities, hobbies, friends, groups. And that is beautiful. And that is the one thing that I found that I gave up in my last relationship, doing a lot of things that I did individually. And that's a learned lesson for me. Thank you, Christina, from Flint, for injecting that, because that is important, people. Do not lose your individual self when you get into a relationship. I've done it. We've talked about that on here, right? So my learned lesson is the things that I do, like my show, Coffee with Friends, my friends that I have outside, everything that I do. The man that's in my life, he has to accept that part of me. I am, when he met me, that's what he said, or what he thought he was attracted to, right? Because we were not a unit. When you met me, you were attracted to my individuality, and I must hold on to that for myself, right? And so, learn lesson for me is, I moving forward, I'm not going to give up my individuality. And so I love that, Christina. Continue to do what you do as an individual, but continue to feed into your relationship as well. It's not easy. Miss Shalandere said, I almost hate when someone just comes sit in the same room and clear their throat like they want to say something, but don't, and wait for me to start a conversation. One of my employees does this a lot. It's your pet peeve. We can't argue with that, right? So Sai Abdullah, she's not on here this morning, but she posted a funny post the other day, and I was like, damn it. When you go to a hibachi restaurant and they sit like a bunch of strangers at the table with you, that's a pet peeve for me. I love hibachi food, but I'm like, why y'all gotta sit me at the table with a bunch of strangers? I don't want to, right? That's a pet peeve. Oh, you said, and you ignore her, your coworker. Oh my God. Interior Ruth said, oh my God, Raw. My mom's mom didn't talk to her either. What the? Wait, what? So, wow. But it was because my mom was a product of rape. And I think every time she saw her, it was a reminder of what happened to her. Ooh. Interior Ruth. That was deep. Being a product of rape and looking at your child, and your child being a reminder of what happened to you. Damn it. How do you work through your own trauma and not pass trauma on to your child? So, Interior Rue, how did your mother unpack that? Did she ever unpack it? Because my mom never unpacked it. It lives in her life. Cheryl Lee said, awesome at I Am Dissenter. Doing that shadow work is important. It is. It really is. Johnny Hill said, life moves so fast that sometimes you don't have time to fully process all of what's going on with you because of the obligations you have to other people. And I personally find myself unable to release. I get it. I get it, Johnny. How do you make time for yourself when there's so many obligations out there and that people are depending on you? Baby, Johnny, I'm 55 and didn't live half my life. I lived most of my life for other people. I did. And you know what's crazy? When you get into the mode of living your life, because life does move so fast, you live your life for other people. And then when you take a step back and try to live your life for yourself, you start to feel guilty. You start to feel like, if I do this, I'm taking away from other people. It's deep. Life moves fast. And we have to, I'm still learning how to cater to my own individual needs and put me first. I'm still learning, Johnny, because you're right. We get so wrapped up in other people's needs and obligations that are put on you that you forget your own shit. Wow. Ghost said, I hate when I'm doing something obvious and someone walks up to me and asks me what I'm doing. I, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. And then when you respond as a wise ass, they're like, "Why you got to be such a wise ass?" You're like, "What?" Okay. Thank you. Yes, Cheryl, thanks for welcoming Christina from Flint. All right. Right. Yes, the likes matter, y'all. The likes matter. Cheryl is reminding y'all that the likes on my video matter. Christina from Flint said, my husband and I were two separate people joining our lives together, but we have always been individuals. We do couple things, but we also do individual things, and that's okay. It's a good thing. It is. It is. It's okay to maintain. So, how do you get back for those that have lost their individual track in a relationship? Does anybody have any opinions other than I Am the Center? Because I Am the Center gave a great one. Write it down, do checkpoints every quarter. Any other advice to how do you get back your individualism once you realize you lost it? I'm asking. Fancy K, I know. Pet peeves, I'm sure we all got them shits. Ghost said, don't ever loud talk me or interrupt me when I'm talking. That irks my soul. Let me tell you something. My girlfriend posted something the other day that said, y'all motherfuckers gotta stop thinking people are scared of y'all because y'all screaming, y'all scream and talk loud. And I was like, baby, my last relationship when we used to get into an argument, he used to puff up his chest and be like, whoa, 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 roaring and hollering and screaming like the lion and the Wiz. And I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, why people got to get all loud like it matters? See, when you get loud with me, then I get loud, and then I start moving close to the knife thing, and I'm thinking, like, come on, don't yell at me. I hate to be yelled at. That's when I start throwing bar stools and chairs and shit at your fucking head and TVs and shit because I feel like you're attacking me. Yelling at me at a loud, like extremely loud, is almost the same as hitting me. Don't fucking do that. Don't do that. That makes me flip the fuck out. It does. Pet peeve. Don't fucking yell at me. Okay? Because I'm ready to do a 300. I'm turning into a Trojan. The fuck? Seriously. Fancy K said, I hate when people don't follow rules. Let me clarify. I don't follow every rule. For example, the speed limit is 70. I might drive 75, but I'm referring to shit that can do just directly involve you. Yeah. Person breaking the rules. Breaking the rules. A person breaking the rules. Okay. That's like, listen, we all got our pet peeves, right? If it's going to put someone else at risk, I hate that shit. I hate a bunch of people standing in front of my house, just hanging out. Take your ass in the house. Wait, I hate when people are standing on fucking line at the bus stop when somebody's standing right behind me. I be like, why you gotta stand behind me? And then I say, damn, Robin, it is a line. I just be irked for no fucking reason. Now that's just irked. That's not a pet peeve for me, but it's irky. But a pet peeve for me is don't keep rubbing the fuck up on my knapsack. Cause I purposely put my knapsack on my back when I'm on the line waiting for the bus. Okay, so that you don't get too close to me. This is before COVID. I love my space. Stand the fuck back. We know you online, right? But when you keep brushing against my knapsack, I start doing this while I'm online, like some kid that threw a tantrum, right? And then they looking at me like, oh, this she's a little bitch. No, move the fuck back. And baby, when I do that shit, I be like, baby, somebody gonna kick my ass because I be at the Newark Penn Station and they be looking like they ready for war. But I don't want to be touched. I don't. Okay. Protagonist said, my mom does that indirect shit and I hate it. But now I ignore her because if she don't respect me, I gotta respect myself. But is it from trauma? See, I felt the same way, protagonist. I'd be like, me and my son be like, don't listen to it. She'd be like, oh, I need to go to the store, but I can't get to the store. How am I going to get to the store? And we both sitting there like, is she going to ask one of us to take her to the store? Right? But when she dropped that shit on me last night, I had to understand it. Give your mom grace. Have patience. You don't know where that shit come from. Maybe when she spoke up, maybe it wasn't a kind experience for her. Protagonist, what? Is this normal? Protagonist said no one spoke to me either, so I feel her. Wait a minute, y'all. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. No. Protagonist, no one spoke to you as a child either. Is this normal? Do y'all not speak to y'all kids? I talk to my kid, I talk to my grandkids. I talk a lot. That's why the motherfuckers can't keep their mouths closed now. Do y'all not is it normal to not talk to your children? So protagonist, how did this not being spoken to when you were growing up play out in your adult life? I'm just asking. I'm asking. Johnny Leon Hill said, I don't do well with passive aggressive people. Just tell me what you want. Don't just throw out things that you want and expect me to do it. Ask for it. That's how I am. Georgie said, my boyfriend's mother never tells him she loves him, even if he say it first. As a child, he said she would say, what do you want in response? And as an adult, she would hang up on the phone. That sound like she got issues. That sound like she got issues. His mother never told him she loves him. Wow. And how does that affect your boyfriend? How does that affect your boyfriend? And does your boyfriend tell you he love you? I know I am dissented. That shit was deep. It hurt my feelings. Interior said, no, it lives in my mom's life too. Thank God for her grandfather because he raised her. See, my mother, she didn't really have a good foundation of anybody really raising her in a good foundation, right? So her trauma just carried. Um, I know, Cheryl Lee, right? I know. We got to give people grace because we just don't know what the fuck people have had to deal with in their life. And this is my mom, and this is the first time I was hearing that, you know? And now I can see how it plays out in her life. Georgie said, Christina from Flint says some people are conditioned to not ask directly. Johnny, and after years of that, it becomes the way they are. Just cannot ask directly, I think. I think so, Christina. I think so. I'm telling you, I'm living it all my life with my mom. No matter how many times I snap at her, she finds it difficult to ask for something directly. Now, there are things that she does ask for directly, but for the majority, she won't. Georgie said his dad either. Okay, so your boyfriend's dad doesn't tell him he loves him either, but they wonder why he doesn't want to be bothered with them and their desire to run his life. Wow. So how many of y'all on here make sure y'all consciously tell y'all children that y'all love them? Please do that. Mm. Protagonist said, I got suspended for talking too much in school. My mother too. My mother said she went to school and she wouldn't shut the fuck up because that was the only time she got to talk and she would get in trouble in school. Wow. That's why I became a teacher, so someone would listen to them children. That's why getting fired hurt because only adults hated me, not the students. Georgie said he said as a child, his parents talked to him to yell, make him do things and say, I didn't sleep with you last night. Good morning. He also said as little as 7, he didn't want to wake up and get out of bed. Wow. So his mother would yell at him and say to him, I didn't sleep with you last night because maybe he looked like he was upset or whatever the case may be. And it made him not want to wake up in the morning. How does that play out in his adult life? Do you see any remnants of that playing out in his adult life? Protagonist said, I used to hate being ignored. Fancy K said, when people don't read the text in its entirety, then ask me about something I've already written. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's when I become a bitch. I be like, what? Are you not reading my text? I start screenshotting like a banshee. And they'll be like, oh my God, I missed it. Like it's no big deal. But I'm like, just as frustrated as you are that I screenshot and sent the shit back to you, as frustrated as I am that I had a whole conversation with you and you did and you missed half of it. That's exactly why I hate when people don't respond to me when I'm talking to them. Because what I find is an hour later, they'll say something and I'll be like, we just talked about that. And they'll be like, we did. And I'll be like, see, that's why I don't like when motherfuckers don't respond to me, because I don't know if you heard me, you didn't hear me, what? That aggravates me when I have to repeat myself 500 times when I'm sitting right next to you talking to you. I'd rather you say, I'm not in the mood to hear your shit. Okay. Fancy K said, when people cut you off when you are talking, but they actually try to correct you when you do it to them. There's a guy I work with at work. Every time we get on the fucking phone, he asks me a question and I go to answer. I'll be like, blah, blah. He be like, blah, 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 blah. I'll be like, oh my God. Are you serious? I have hung up several times. And I'm not gonna compete. Okay. Georgie says, and you said, protagonist, you said you don't care. That, you hate being ignored. Now you don't care. Okay. Georgie said because of the way they would treat him, but then they raised a grandchild and was very loving to him. We was abused and then left with them by one of his very much older siblings. So, he was abused and then left with them by one of his very much older siblings. Damn. Sorry, boyfriend. I am destined to say your story about your mom reminds me of my husband. I've never heard him yell in frustration. He told me one day the reason he doesn't yell was because of his childhood trauma. We still out here healing or trying. Mm. Zen said, I do that. I sometimes space out when people talk to me. Okay. Okay. But you might not be able to help that. That's understandable. But then tell your people that, like, oh, my bad, I spaced out. It's a bad habit of mine. It's nothing personal. Because the other person is running their mouth just to talking, and they're like, and then later on they're like, so and so and so. You'll be like, what? We just discussed that. Zen said, and I don't intend to not acknowledge that you're speaking to me. Sometimes when people speak, it reminds me of something else and my mind runs off with that thought. Then I check out. But that's ADHD. Okay. Understandable, right? Understandable. Thank you for sharing that, Zen, because that sensitizes me a little bit. All right. Thank you for that. And Tira Rue said, okay, one pet peeve of mine is a bunch of alarms and alerts going off. You hear me on here yelling at my mother to turn her alarm off. My phone stays on silent. No alarms and no notifications. So I'm always fussing at Fancy K when she comes over. Oh my God. I got another pet peeve, y'all. Motherfuckers, can y'all get headphones? Everybody and their mother is watching TikTok out loud as if and it's a pet peeve for me because I can't see what you're watching. All I can hear is this noise in the background. Like we could be in the house together, watching TV together, and you're watching TikTok or videos or reels or YouTube or whatever it is, and your sound is competing with the sound on the TV. Now, some people might say, well, you can't be mad because they watching something else. No, I can't be mad. But at least when we're watching the TV or when we're in the car and we're listening to the radio, we can both indulge in what's going on the TV and what's going on the radio. But I can't indulge on what's going on your YouTube when you're sitting there watching it by yourself or you're looking at TikTok, but the sound is competing with the music that's playing in the house or the TV that's on. Like motherfuckers, just get headsets. Everybody watching their phones on speaker. And I'm like, what? Like, isn't that kind of like rude? Like you on a bus and you hear somebody watching TikTok loud. You're like, what? Get headset. Now that's a pet peeve for me. It wasn't always, but I think moving to Jersey and riding these buses where it is not allowed to have your phone on speaker might have changed me, because that is a big pet peeve for me. Fancy K said, when people tell me watch your tone or raise your voice, that one will get you cussed. Oh, thank God for Jesus every day, all day. And thank God I really don't want to be in jail. So if I end up in jail, y'all know that it was for a fucking good reason. Just send me commissary. That's all I ask. Okay. Coach Donovan said, Johnny, you guys already made the hardest step, which is the acknowledgement. Now just take it one day at a time and get individual hobbies. I love it. I love it. Georgie said, I keep my notifications off. So sometimes I really don't see people's texts in the mix, especially because I have 10 important people pinned in the messages. You literally could be 15 messages down. Wow. Yeah, I keep people pinned also. Okay. Chef, you said my mom was the same, but she went through severe trauma as a child. You see? I am just to say, I don't know. People be going through something. 7 hours is not that long. Johnny said, don't ignore me and then get mad when I get fed up and start moving differently. That part, right? Mr. Landere said, a pet peeve of mine is when someone invites me somewhere with their friends I don't know and then be late. So I'm forced to talk to these strangers without a proper introduction. Awkward and uncomfortable. I can understand that, right? I get that. All right. Protagonist said, my question is, there's a question, y'all, and it's already 9:06, so we got to start winding down, right? Protagonist said, my question is, why does everyone want others in a relationship? I find myself at peace when I'm single and stressed when I'm in a relationship. I don't want nobody else. Listen, I want people to be happy with whatever makes them happy. If you want to be single, you should be single. You know, I say it all the time. Do what the fuck works for you. There's a lot of motherfuckers out here that don't mind being single. They love being single, and that's okay. Do what works for you. Period. Period. Do what works for you. Period. That's it, and that's all. Do what works for you. Georgie said, that's my answer, but anybody else can answer. Georgie said, I have a new friend who likes to text a lot, and she will be like, hello. And after a few messages, I'm like, damn, girl, you over there. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fancy K said, I don't, and I didn't know what was an issue. That was an issue. We never said I love you in our house growing up, and it was cool. We showed it. A lot of people never said I love you growing up. I didn't hear it a lot growing up, right? I didn't say it a lot to my son when he was growing up, but I learned because I wasn't used to hearing it myself. But as I became, when I stepped into parenthood and when my son got older and when he wound up in the Hooskow, I realized I started telling him I loved him more and more and more, right? Because I realized I was like, I can't assume he knows that, right? A lot of us grew up without hearing it, so a lot of us don't say it. Or I find it hard to say. But I started learning to say it. I say it to my grandchildren too. Interior Rue said, okay, I am irked when people don't observe stuff. I be observing only to come back later and be like, oh, I see it now. When to me it was obvious in the beginning. Oh, Protagonist said, Georgie, I don't feel like I'm missing much being single, and you're probably not. It's okay to be single. The fuck? Georgie said, asking the obvious. My man does that, and every time I ask him what he wants or why, he asks, and I never answer. The cowardly lion. Yes, the cowardly lion. That's what the fuck he used to. But I mean, I'm just saying he used to make a lot of noise like the cowardly lion. All right. But Georgie, yes, asking the obvious. I hate that too. Right. And you never answer. You never answer him. But maybe, you just said that he grew up in an environment where people didn't say they loved you and his environment was kind of toxic. So maybe give him a little grace and maybe ask him, why does he do that? Try to unpack that a little bit. Okay. Christina from Flint said, maybe get your individualism a step at a time by doing something by yourself, for yourself. Have coffee with a friend, meet your sister for dinner, or even spend some time in a park on a walk. Great advice, Christine from Flint. I'm telling you, these are the things that I started doing this year that I wasn't doing in my last relationship, in the last year and a half. I started going out with my friends. I walk. Y'all know I normally walk on Sundays. Well, since it's been cold, I've been doing other things, right? I go, I mean, I socialize with my friends. I have my individual life. And I am going to remind myself, you know, whether in a relationship or not, I am going to maintain that individualism. Okay. Period. Period. It's important. Okay. Protagonist says to get it back, remember life is about balance. Same way you live for others. Make sure you put an equal amount of energy into yourself. Put the equal amount of energy into yourself. Madison said, I tell my child, AKA adult son, I love him often. Fancy K said, we grew up different. We didn't cry at funerals and stuff either. Yeah. We barely went to them. I hated funerals. I started going to funerals. Well, did we have funerals when me growing up? We didn't really have too many people that died when I was young. Listen, I got cussed out at my uncle's funeral because my grandmother's brother, when he died, I said something to the effect, he lived a very long life because he was up in age. And his daughter cussed me out for saying that and didn't speak to me for a long period of time. And I was like, well, what the fuck did I say? People are weird. People are weird. They just weird, right? And it hurt my feelings because I was like, well, what did I say? And I always felt like a little outcast in the family anyway. So I was like, they always looking for a reason to outcast me more. Now, who I am today, motherfuckers can kiss my ass. I don't care. I say what the fuck I want to say, and you kiss my ass. And if you don't ever want to speak to me again, I don't care. I'm no longer reacting to feelings of being the black sheep of the family. I don't care, right? But I had to grow into that feeling, all right? But listen, so Fancy K, I mean, I grew up with very little emotion probably too. And when I said that, I wasn't saying it to be mean, but my cousin thought, I said the wrong shit about her dad. Right. So she got mad and cussed me out at the funeral and made a little scene. And I was like, well, what the fuck? And didn't talk to me for years. And I was hurt over that. I was like, well, what the fuck did I do? I just said he lived a long, happy life. Like, what the fuck? Right? But now let a motherfucker come to me when I say some shit. I'm different. I'm different, y'all. Don't come fucking with me now. Okay? Protagonist says, for example, if you take your wife to her favorite concert, go to yours alone or with the fellas. Okay, still, ladies, let your man take trips with their male friends. You take trips with your lady friends. Keep doing your individual shit. I believe in that. Fancy K said, people think we are weird. Of course, because people think that everybody is supposed to be the same, even though no matter how many times we say people are different, we always look at somebody else, just like that shit that's floating around social media where people are saying, oh my God, y'all are weird for watching Jeffrey Dahmer. Why are we weird for watching Jeffrey Dahmer? We are not the Stepford wives and the husbands. We have individual minds. We are individual people with individual interests. Some of us are interested in CSI type shit. Some of us don't run from what the fuck really happened in our history. We want to know. So should we not watch the things that are true that hurts? Right? When Roots comes on TV, did people say don't watch? But Jeffrey Dahmer comes on and everybody, and there's a population of people that's jumping on social media saying, don't watch Jeffrey Dahmer. Y'all watch Jeffrey Dahmer. Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird for watching Jeffrey Dahmer. He's, all that gruesome shit he did, whether I watch it or the fuck not, he still did it. He still did it. Is it any different when we watch court TV and we watch these horrendous testimonies? Is it any different when we go and watch people's biopics? Stop fucking telling people what to do. And no judgment. Stop going on there judging people based on what they watch and calling them crazy because they watch Jeffrey Dahmer. Let people do what the fuck they want to do. I don't get it. Protagonist says, I used to get yelled at for bothering my mom, and my brother shared a room with me and said, be your own man. And it totally destroyed me inside. It has to be one reason why I don't seek relationships. You see how we unpack shit here? I don't fear rejection. I fear caring and being ignored. There it is. There it is. Georgie said, he tells me he loves me and is very affectionate. He is the same with his son. Always make sure he says it and gives him hugs. I love it. Theo said, that's great at Johnny. I wish I had time to come in, but these people have me scheduled for meetings starting at 8:30 a.m. Have a great day, y'all. Thank you, Theo. We appreciate it. Ghost said, anyone who knows me knows that when I explain something I do in detail and in the simplest terms that even a carpet kid could understand, and ask me what I'm talking about or act like you don't. Oh! Fancy K, you said your son thinks y'all are weird. Well, that's possible. I think my son is weird sometimes. Like he is very ghosty, right? Protagonist said, my mother didn't hug me and say I love you until she saw how much my nephews love me and hug me all the time. If y'all ladies write an essay for a text in the beginning and the beginning is wrong, I stop reading. Oh, that's from Protagonist. Cheryl Lee said, right, because they may have heard, but did they comprehend? That's a big fucking question. People, you might hear what the other person is saying, but did you fucking comprehend it? Because there's a difference between hearing and comprehending. The fuck? Georgie said his parents have a total of 9 to 11 children, all older than him. One who is sickly deals with them. One who is needy fucks with them. The rest don't. He wondered why when he was little. Now he does. Wow. The rest don't. He wondered why when he was little. Now he knows why. Mm, wow. Understand what I'm saying will send me over the edge. You know what? I can't. Interior Roots said, ooh, Fancy, that bothers me when people get mad at you for treating them the way they treat you. Like, what the fuck? I'm only doing what you do to me. And that's why I don't like fooling with people like that. Ooh. Y'all are on it on this Freestyle fucking Friday. It is 9:17, y'all. We have got to go. Y'all need to stop with the comments because I'm going to keep reading these shits. Right? And I gotta go to work, right? All my sister does is scroll on her phone while we supposed to be watching TV. I hate the competing noise, but also I hate that we're supposed to be spending time together and you're not paying attention. That part. See, people take it for granted when y'all are sitting down watching TV together and doing shit together. Y'all are spending time together. So when someone else is on their phone and they're doing something else or whatever, and you go, "Are you watching this?" Or they turn around and go, "Well, what happened? What happened? Well, what did I miss?" I get irritated because I'm like, "Are you fucking watching? Are you watching the TV? Are you scrolling your phone? Are you watching YouTube? What's going on?" Right? I'm just saying. Cheryl Lee said, "Love is action work." So I'd rather you show me you love me as opposed to it being said, not shown, and not shown. So if it was shown in the household, that's awesome in my opinion. True. True. Zen said, all I want to say is at Protagonist, I love you. I don't know you, but you are here on my journey and on my path. For that, I love you. And with that, y'all, this is motherfucking Coffee with Friends. And that's what I'm talking about. Loving up on each other, strangers as we are. Some of us know each other personally on here. Others we don't. We met through this platform, right? But loving up on each other as a people is what we're doing here. I love how Zen put it. You are on my journey. You are on my path, right? So I love you. I tell y'all that all the time. I say, give me the hearts on IG because I love you and I want to know that you love me. Right? I'm just saying. I love it. Georgie said, Johnny, I am like that because I don't like TV. If it's not true crime or literally throw hands fight in reality TV, it's not going to keep my attention. Johnny said, I lost my father at 15, and out of the 15 years, my father and I had only one meaningful conversation in a liquor store parking lot while he was drunk. Wow. And I love you too, Zen. I love y'all. Protagonists. Seriously. Wow, Johnny. I don't know. That's deep. I lost my words on that. Right? Who said for the ladies who was in a relationship, what's your plans for Sweetest Day? What is Sweetest Day? What's Sweetest Day? Some made up holiday for the guys. They have a whole card line at Walgreens. What? You know, they keep making up these holidays. Fancy Case said I was never an affectionate person. Maybe it's due to how I grew up. Possibly. Possibly. Oh, it's another Valentine's Day. No. Okay. Fancy Case said, who really? I have to go to Walgreens and see what's up. Can somebody, the fuck? We're going to have to talk about this. Listen, Coffee with Friends is tonight. I'm going to cut this show short because y'all going to see me again. Well, it's not short. It's 9:20. Y'all going to see me again tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Coffee with Friends is tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Please, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be Zen. I'm sorry. You won't be here tonight. Okay. That's very unfortunate. All right. We gonna miss your ass. Tell Eric next time don't interfere with Coffee with Friends after dark schedule. All right. But send my love to Eric also. Okay. Coffee with Friends tonight. Make sure you set your clocks. I'm going to read the last few bit of comments. Then I'm going to send y'all on your way with some inspirational music and some waves of goodbye. And we'll meet up again later. Ooh, who say it's the third or second Saturday in October? I'm skipping that holiday. Okay. Fancy K said, y'all at Ghost Mob is so much nicer than me. I think he's good for me. I am mean. Well, that's why y'all are together, right? Perfect match. I love it. Interior said, yeah, what is that about? Why can't men go on trips with their boys? It was a series of TikTok videos with women getting angry with their men because they were going on a trip. Why? Let the men live. Because some of them are going to DR to get ass. But listen, we can't control that, right? But they still need to go. Hey, Lipa. Hey, J. Joe. Fancy K said, when women are tripping, let them men go have fun. Exactly. All right. Exactly. Okay. And with that, y'all, I got to end this show. Interior says Zen is the best. I am a person that expresses my love vocally and intently, and I love you as well. I love it. I love it. Y'all, I appreciate you motherfuckers, right? Coffee with Friends is Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. And we talk about a lot of shit. You know, sometimes we come on here, we laugh. Sometimes we come on here and we shed a couple of tears. And sometimes we just have silent moments. Like today, a couple of you dropped some heavy shit, right? You know, and I dropped some heavy shit because my mom dropped some heavy shit on me, and it just reminds me that we are a people that have shit that we are healing from. We are still working through the kinks, right? But the blessing here is that we're working through them. That's the blessing. And with that, y'all, I want to give y'all some vibes because I'm going to see some of y'all motherfuckers later on. Hopefully, I get to see most of you motherfuckers later on. But in the meantime, between time, you know what I say. What is it I say?
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
No matter how you feel, you can still go. Don't let these things that happen to us on a day-to-day basis take us all the way down, back to square one. Continue to go down that path of healing. All right? Don't let loss of hope stop you. All right? Don't let judgment stop you. All right? Anything you want, anything you need. That's what the song says. Just get up and go. All right? Keep that energy and slide past that negative energy. I love you, motherfuckers. This is Coffee with Friends, and I'm raw to the bone. Continue to love up on your brothers and sisters. And with that, I'm out. Gone for now, but never forever. Hey. You got mine, but even that could change. You can flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain.